These are the 3 most exciting fights coming to season 3 of One Punch Man. The long-awaited 3rd season of the series is finally coming this year, and with it is going to come a massive montage of intense fights and crazy moments. The first of which, and one of the ones I am definitely the most excited for, is the fight between Garo and Monster King Orochi. Now this fight begins after Garo decides to challenge the King of Monsters, and this fight is the first time we get to actually see the full scale of how massive Monster King Orochi really is. So of course, already knowing the absolute demon that Garo already is, this is truly a fight between an unstoppable force and an immovable object. This fight takes place in what appears to be some kind of large coliseum within the Monster Association base, where a bunch of monsters are spectating the fight between them, and end up even being collateral damage as this massive fight is going on. Garo dashes around the battlefield with relentless speed, as Monster King Orochi delivers a relentless flood of tendril attacks. The Monster King's reach seems endless, and just as Garo keeps thinking that he's about to get the upper hand, the King pulls out yet another insane ability. He of course showcases his massive tendrils that can almost act autonomously, reaching the farthest depths of the battlefield, and if that wasn't enough, he pulls out straight up like dragons from his hands. We learn that he can somehow create these dragon type monsters from each one of his tendrils as well, each one of them being able to shoot massive energy blasts. Just the choreography of this fight on its own makes it to where it's going to be almost certainly a spectacle once it actually gets made into an anime. We see Garo get pushed farther than he ever has before, being straight up like almost killed by being impaled by Monster King Orochi, and we also get to see the power of probably the strongest monster we've seen up until that point, other than of course Boros. In this fight there's amazing action, choreography, and truly sets the stage for everything else that is to come, which is a barrage of insane large-scale battles that occur in the Monster Association base once the S-Class heroes finally enter. But first, I want to get a little nostalgic for a second. How many of you remember the manga Saint Seiya? That's right, the iconic 1980s manga and anime that helped pave the way for all the great anime of today. And within this amazing series, there's of course the timeless Hades arc that revolves around the main antagonist Hades, of course. Hades is one of the most powerful deities in the Saint Seiya universe and was a key figure in the infamous Holy War. Well, Hades is back to no good, kicking off the Holy War once again, and you can take part in defeating him once and for all by playing today's sponsor, Saint Seiya Legend of Justice. The game is adapted from the classic manga Saint Seiya, staying true to the story. This is an idle game in portrait mode, so you can idle with one hand while you're playing catch with your dog or pretending to be busy at work. You're able to collect all your favorite characters from the manga. You can strengthen your favorite ones and participate in their limited time event, the Holy War Recruitment. The strongest god Hades has arrived with his unmatched attack and defense to dominate the battlefield. Pair him with other underworld characters to form another team. So here is a global call to all Saint Seiya fans. Download Saint Seiya Legend of Justice and unite with other players to light up the maps. Right now, you can vote for the best Holy War slogan for a chance to grab a share of $10,000, with the grand prize being an iPhone 16. So yeah, download it and add me at AnimeAnxiety so you can vote for my slogan, "To Hell and Back for Victory." Thank you Saint Seiya Legend of Justice for sponsoring this, but for now, back to the video. One of these fights that I'm personally the most excited to see in particular is a fight where we finally get to see S-Class hero Zombie Man showcase all of his skills and abilities. Here we learn that his ability is pretty much refusing to die. During the Monster Association arc, we get to see a fight between him and a demon level monster called Pureblood. Now the antagonist of this fight, Pureblood himself, is a very interesting character because he's a natural born monster and a vampire, apparently coming from a long line of vampires himself. This is the first instance in the series where we see an actual family lineage of monsters, and he has all the classic abilities that you would think a vampire would have. He can turn his entire body into a large swarm of bats, and each one has the ability to consume blood and regenerate his body. So whenever Pureblood takes any type of serious damage, he just needs to consume blood himself or turn himself into a bunch of bats and have them suck the life of whatever they can find. He also of course has incredible perception and speed. On the other hand, our boy Zombie Man shows up to this fight with nothing more than a gun, an axe, and a cigarette to smoke later. What makes this fight truly unique and incredible in my opinion compared to all the others is that it has this certain dark and gothic vibe, almost a Resident Evil vibe, that you really don't get anywhere else else in this story. Once we learn that Zombie Man's true ability is simply regeneration, this fight ends up becoming like a straight up slasher flick. We literally have a zombie versus a vampire. Zombie Man takes crazy amounts of damage, and we get some truly graphic and gory scenes. The entire fight takes place in something that seems like a gothic cathedral, with a swarm of monsters watching the fight go on. Stylistically, the fight is absolutely beautiful. And once the dust settles, Zombie Man has one of the coldest lines in the entire series. I'm not going to spoil that here, but let me just say right now that Zombie Man does not look pretty by the end of this fight. It's a shorter altercation compared to a lot of the other fights in this arc, but I think aesthetically it's absolutely incredible and very unique versus any other thing that we see in this series. And also the simplicity of this fight is a great contrast from all the massive large-scale fights that we get later on. Again, it's a dude with an axe and a gun fighting against a vampire. If you guys are fans of Resident Evil or the show Supernatural, you're gonna have a great time with this one. But you might even have a better time with what is personally my most anticipated fight of the entire season. And that's going to be the fight between Child Emperor and Phoenix Man. Now, if you've been a fan of this channel for any amount of time, you know how much I love this fight and how much I love Phoenix Man, the character in particular. He's hands down one of my favorite villains of the entire series, and it's for good reason. In this fight with S-Class hero Child Emperor, we get to see a massive scale battle unlike anything we've ever seen before. I absolutely love the creativity of all the cool gadgets and gizmos that Child Emperor displays, and of course the reveal of his ultimate weapon is absolutely iconic, but none of that would matter if he was facing a villain that was boring or not memorable at all. Two things that Phoenix Man is absolutely not. In this fight, we get to learn about Phoenix Man's heartbreaking backstory and how it led to his incredible powers that make it to where he pretty much can't die, and every time he's quote killed, he just comes back even stronger than he was before. With each power up from Phoenix Man, we get the unveiling of another incredible ability, like how he's able to transform into various bird forms, like his 10,000 degree hawk form, or his subsonic speed falcon mode. This fight just has so much creativity involved and is drawn and choreographed so well that I feel like many of you after you watch it are gonna understand why I love Phoenix Man so much. Like, this villain is so freaking cool, and in fact he was so powerful within the series that he was actually nerfed by the creator of the series after realizing that he had made Phoenix Man absolutely broken. It really seems like One and Murata tried very hard to make this fight incredible, simply with the amount of detail and different creative ways that the battle takes place. And of course what makes this fight even better is the involvement of Saitama. Saitama actually makes an appearance towards the end of this fight in a very fun and entertaining way. And on top of this, we also get some incredible character development for Child Emperor himself. I mean, it has great action, great choreography, great dialogue, great character development. Child Emperor versus Phoenix Man just has everything you could possibly love within an anime fight. Some honorable mentions I do want to point out really quick that didn't make my top 3, but were definitely very close. For one was the fight between Flashy Flash and Hellfire and Gale Wind. This fight between lightning fast deadly ninjas was absolutely stunning, and what really blew my mind about this fight, aside from the awesome action and how large scale this fight ended up becoming, is that the entirety of this fight from beginning to end at some point literally only spanned the time it took for a bridge to fall to the ground. Like, this fight that lasted multiple chapters and involved several clashes and big attacks from both sides all happened within maybe 1 or 2 seconds, because we see at the very beginning of this fight a bridge start to fall apart, and by the end of the fight we actually see the rubble from the fallen bridge hit the ground. Once the fight was over and I saw that panel of the rubble hitting the ground, I thought, like, no freaking way that this is the same bridge that we saw at the beginning of this fight. Truly an awesome moment. But what's probably going to be the most awesome moment of the entire season is going to be my last honorable mention, which is going to be the fight between Saitama and Monster King Orochi himself. Of course, you know that with every Saitama fight, we get to see the final villain or the final boss of the arc go all out and showcase every single ability they have, only for them to get one-punched by Saitama in the end. It's going to be inevitable that Saitama one-shots the villain, but the ride there is most certainly going to be incredible. I predict that a lot of the budget for this season is going to go into this one fight, for them to be able to fully showcase the insane abilities that Monster King Orochi has, and deliver a satisfying final punch from Saitama that's probably going to end the season and set us up for season 4. Let me know in the comments below though which fight you're most excited for. Did I not mention it in this video? If not, let me know below. That does it for this one though. Have an absolutely wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever, and I'll see you guys in the next video.